Hello, the story I will share with you today took place in Ibaraki County, Japan. Ibaraki County is located in the northeastern part of the Kanto Plain, known for its developed agriculture and fishing industries. The area's agricultural land is the second largest in Japan. In the northern part of Ibaraki, there is a city named Hitachi-Oda. This city is one of the few regions in Japan that produces high-quality buckwheat. A famous autumn specialty of the province is the Hitachi Akisoba, with its rich aroma and delicate sweetness that makes it unforgettable for those who try it. Today's story begins in a forested mountain area in the northern part of Hitachi-Oda City. On June 18, 2022, a Saturday, the local police were investigating a case in a mountain forest in the north of Hitachi-Oda City, Ibaraki County. During their search, they discovered a girl hanging from a tree, completely naked, handcuffed, with her face distorted. The police speculated that she had fallen from the mountain behind and landed on a tree. The location where the girl was found was near a spot called Ikuta Falls, a rather isolated place in a dense forest. Since it is not a popular tourist spot, not many people visit there. The forensic examination revealed bruises on her face, neck, and wrists, possibly caused by the handcuffs. There were no obvious injuries on other parts of her body, but she had a broken hyoid bone, a horseshoe-shaped bone in the middle of the front of the neck, between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. This condition is usually seen in cases of strangulation or hanging. The cause of death was determined to be asphyxiation, with the time of death estimated to be about 2 to 3 weeks prior. The police quickly concluded that the place where the girl was found was not the scene of the crime, but rather where the body had been moved to. It was clear that this was not a case of suicide, but rather a murder. The next step for the police was to identify the victim. 10 days before the girl was found, on June 8, 2022, a couple from Tokyo reported their 21-year-old daughter had gone missing after leaving home on June 5th and hadn't returned for 3 days. They had lost contact with her and requested the police to help find her. After verification, it was confirmed that the missing girl was the same one found in the forest. Her name was Arano Rina, born in 1999 in Tokyo. At the time, she was 21 years old and lived with her family in an apartment in Bunkyo District, Tokyo, which is about 100 kilometers southwest of Hitachi-Oda City. Rina had grown up in a family where she didn't have to worry about basic needs. She had an older sister, and the family of 4 lived together peacefully and happily. Her father worked for a pharmaceutical company that developed treatments for Alzheimer's disease and schizophrenia, while her mother was a homemaker, elegant and beautiful like a model. Since childhood, Rina had been a sweet and charming girl, the apple of her family's eye. With her cheerful and active personality, she loved singing and dancing. While in elementary school, Rina joined the school's dance club and achieved high rankings in school dance competitions. Perhaps influenced by her father, Rina dreamed of becoming a pharmacist in the future, thinking it would be wonderful to save a cancer patient. After graduating from elementary school, Rina went to a combined middle and high school, where she made new friends and experienced many new things. She gradually became more interested in fashion, music, and shopping. She started paying attention to her appearance and wished for smoother, fairer skin. She often went shopping with friends in Harajuku, Tokyo, during school breaks. However, her grades began to drop, and she lost focus on her studies. Eventually, she didn't pass the university entrance exam. At her parents' arrangement, Rina attended a medical training school, but the difficult and boring coursework made it hard for her to concentrate. During this time, Rina forgot her original dream of becoming a pharmacist. She often skipped classes and even rebelled against her parents. At 19 years old, despite her parents' objections, Rina decided to drop out. After a quarrel with her family, she left Bunkyo District and moved to a cheaper apartment near Kabukicho to live alone. To reduce loneliness, she adopted a cat as a companion. Rina then found a bartending job in Kabukicho, a well-known entertainment district with a nightlife scene for adults. However, after paying for rent and living expenses, she found that the income was not enough. Living alone away from her parents caused her expenses to increase, and spending on clothes and cosmetics became a significant part of her budget. Rina wanted to earn more money, and the material temptations kept increasing, making her desire for more grow. As a result, she adopted a stage name and secretly kept her career as a freelance model and actress from her family. She didn't sign a contract with an agency, meaning she handled all the self-promotion and managed her own schedule for photo shoots. She even participated in adult video, AV shoots. AV is an abbreviation for sex videos. The pay varied significantly depending on the model's popularity and conditions, such as whether the face appeared in the video. Those with high pay could earn more than 200,000 yen per shoot, while Rina, with her initial fame, earned around 100,000 yen per shoot. She also started a fan club and could make over 1 million yen monthly. Because she had no agency protection, freelance models often had to interact directly with clients. If they participated in private AV shoots, the partners were usually men, and sometimes there would be just 2 people in the room. During the shooting, it could sometimes require more explicit content, causing controversy. Freelance models might also have to go to places they've never been and could even be unaware of their partner's identity, thus facing potential risks. Despite these risks, Rina chose to pursue this career. To avoid unexpected changes in content during the shoot, she would discuss the details with the partner beforehand and would only agree to meet once the partner committed to her terms. One day, her family accidentally saw photos of her dressed in revealing clothes, which made her parents very angry. However, Rina explained that she was just a fashion model and had to wear such clothes for her work. After some explanation and persuasion, her parents believed her and let it go. By 2021, when Dina was 22 years old, she decided to move back to her parents' house. She wanted to slowly change her lifestyle and career. She wanted to get married, have children, and live a normal life like other women. Therefore, she intended to gradually withdraw from the modeling industry. However, unfortunately, Dina couldn't wait for that day. The timeline goes back to June 8, 2022. Dina's parents reported to the police that their daughter had gone missing. 3 days earlier, on June 5th, Dina's parents shared their account. On the morning of June 5th, Dina was dressed neatly and made up, then told her parents she was going out to meet a friend. She left the house alone. Later that evening, when her father and older sister returned home after work, they prepared dinner, but noticed that Dina still hadn't returned. They felt uneasy because they had called her multiple times, but her phone was turned off. Initially, the family thought her phone might have run out of battery, but that night Dina didn't come home. For the next 2 days, her phone was still off, and even close friends had no idea where she was. Worried that something might have happened to their daughter, her parents decided to contact the police. After receiving the report, the police launched an investigation and traced Dina's movements on June 5th. That morning, Dina took a train to Ibaraki Province and arrived at Mito Station around 10 a.m. Then at the north exit of Kamito Station, she got into a silver car driven by a man and was taken to the city of Hitachota in the northeastern part of Ibaraki. According to online records, Dina had arranged to meet a man that day, and he was a photographer she had previously met. The police reviewed surveillance footage around Kamito Station and identified the license plate of the silver car. They confirmed that the car belonged to a photographer named Hiroyuki Sanpei, 33, who lived in South Aigara, Kanagawa Prefecture. When the police questioned Sanpei, he confirmed that on June 5th, he indeed met Dina. He picked her up at Kamito Station and then drove her to a villa in Hitachota, a property he bought in 2016, but only used occasionally. He and Dina had a photo shoot there, which went smoothly and finished quickly. After the shoot, he drove Dina to a location near a farming association about 920 meters from his villa and then left. He claimed he didn't know where she went afterward. Following this lead, investigators immediately went to Sanpei's villa, located at the foot of a mountain with beautiful scenery and fresh air. The 2-story villa had a road in front, a hot spring center southwest of it, and a sports park to the east. Neighbors reported that Sanpei had bought the villa in 2016, and he lived there with his wife before they divorced. He occasionally visited the villa, staying for a few days, and often brought different women there. A week prior, he had visited the villa with a young woman who appeared to be Dina. When asked about his activities on June 5th, Sanpei admitted that he had taken Dina to the farming association, but no one could confirm the rest of his story. Investigators continued to contact Sanpei and obtained a warrant to search his villa. Inside, they found Dina's mobile phone, which she had presumably left behind. Sanpei claimed he didn't know anything about it, suggesting she might have forgotten it when leaving. As Sanpei became the main suspect, the police seized his phone for further investigation. Technicians recovered data from his phone and found numerous AV videos, one of which showed Dina in a confined, dimly lit environment. The location data from the video confirmed that Dina was inside Sanpei's villa at that time. On June 14th, 9 days after Dina's disappearance, the police arrested Sanpei on suspicion of unlawful detention. When they examined the villa more thoroughly, they discovered hair strands on the bedding on the first floor and a damp mattress in the second-floor bathroom, suggesting it had just been cleaned. In the basement, they found a dirty shovel and more hair strands. Forensic experts confirmed that the hairs belonged to both Sanpei and Dina. Based on these clues, the police suspected that Dina had been held captive or even murdered by Sanpei. On that day, 2 people were filming in the basement of the villa. After finishing the filming, Sanpei didn't let Dina leave and locked her in the basement. He then took Dina out of the villa and hid her somewhere. After being arrested, Sanpei admitted that he had handcuffed Dina during the filming process, but only did so with her consent. He denied killing Dina and stated, "I don't know where Dina is now." The police, based on Sanpei's driving records, found that he had driven to a forest 2 kilometers east of the villa at the end of a forest road. The investigation team started walking along the location to search. 4 days after Sanpei was arrested on June 18, 2022, they found Dina in a low-lying area near Kuta Falls, north of where Sanpei had parked his car. She was hanging from a tree, her hands still cuffed, with no signs of life. It is believed that she was thrown down a mountain. The location where Dina was found was 136 kilometers from her home and 2.4 kilometers from Sanpei's villa. In the area around the site, the police discovered newly dug holes, empty cans, and tape. After testing in the lab, the soil from the hole was found to be similar to the soil on the floor of Sanpei's villa basement. Sanpei's DNA was extracted from the cans, and Dina's DNA was extracted from the tape. Additionally, the type of tape was the same as the one found in Sanpei's villa. All the evidence pointed to Sanpei as the killer. Sanpei was born in Kodazama City, Fukushima Prefecture, in September 1988. At the time of the crime, he was 33 years old and the oldest child in a family of 3. Sanpei came from a wealthy family. His father was an outstanding employee at a large company, and his mother ran a hair salon before becoming a housewife. When Sanpei was in kindergarten, his father was sent by his company to work in the United States at an auto parts factory as a technical advisor. Later, the whole family moved to Ohio. They had a difficult time adapting to the cold climate and faced health problems after arriving. After living in Ohio for 8 years, Sanpei's family moved back to Japan in 2001 when he was 13. His father ended his job in the US and built a new house in Kodazama City, Fukushima Prefecture. Sanpei then enrolled in a local public high school. Because he had lived in the US for a long time, his English was very good. Although Sanpei was not tall, he was excellent at basketball and joined the school basketball club. He was well liked at school, known as a prodigy in both academics and sports, but his violent behavior also began to show at that time. According to a close friend of his, Sanpei had a bad temper, often getting angry and even throwing things around the house, which was very different from his behavior at school. In 2003, when Sanpei was 15, he graduated from middle school with excellent academic performance and was enrolled in a high school in soccer. He also participated in the school's trampolining club and represented the school in national high school championships. After high school, at his parents' suggestion, Sanpei went to study at the University of South Alabama in the US. After graduating, he returned to Japan and found a job at a semiconductor and chemical company near home. He worked diligently and within less than 2 years was promoted to department head. During this time, Sanpei married a classmate from high school. After their marriage in November 2016, when Sanpei was 28, they took out a loan of 14 million yen to buy a villa in Hitachiota City, northeastern Ibaraki County, which later became the place where he imprisoned and murdered Dina. 1 month after buying the villa, in December 2016, Sanpei was arrested for allegedly assaulting a police officer. Over the next 2 months, he continued to cause trouble and was arrested multiple times. In January 2017, Sanpei assaulted a woman on the street in Hitachiota City, and he was again arrested for assault and indecent behavior. Later, on January 25, 2017, he was arrested for raping a woman. Despite facing multiple charges, Sanpei was able to escape punishment by paying for a settlement with the help of his parents. After reaching an agreement, he was not prosecuted, and his repeated escape from jail set the stage for him to commit more serious crimes in the future. After multiple incidents without remorse, his wife filed for divorce. After the divorce, they no longer kept in contact. Sanpei moved out of their house in Hiroyuki City and relocated to Minamiagara City, Kanagawa Prefecture, about 200 kilometers away. He later worked at a local film company but quit after some time. From then on, he became addicted to online social interactions, frequently meeting and filming with AV actresses and models to satisfy his sexual desires. 4 months before the incident, in February 2022, when Sanpei was 33, he befriended a 22-year-old woman named Rina on Twitter. He had posted a modeling photo invitation on Twitter with the shooting schedule between February 2nd and 7th or March 2nd and 6th in Hiroyuki City, Ibaraki County, with a fee of 60,000 yen for a 3-hour session. Dina also received a photo invitation from Tokyo's Bunkyo district, which required a 2.5-hour train ride to the photoshoot location in Ibaraki, with similar conditions. However, Dina's fee was no less than 100,000 yen, while Sanpei offered only 60,000 yen. Therefore, Dina initially rejected his invitation. However, he persisted in negotiating with her and eventually agreed to pay 120,000 yen. By early March, both parties completed their first transaction and kept in touch from then on. On the day of the crime, June 5th, the second transaction between them took place. Just like the first time, Rina took the train to Hiroyuki City and then went to Sanpei's villa. On that day, Sanpei took Dina to the basement of the villa, where he had set up filming equipment. The basement was bare, with only a mattress. Sanpei had a preference for filming SM content and had prepared various props like handcuffs, ropes, and leather straps. At 11 a.m., during the filming process, Sanpei handcuffed Dina and filmed the entire sensitive process on his phone. Unable to control himself during the filming, Sanpei strangled Dina by wrapping his arm around her neck and killed her. After committing the crime, Sanpei was extremely scared, so he destroyed Rina's face to make it harder to identify her and dumped her body in a forest on a mountain 2.4 kilometers away from the villa. When he was arrested, he admitted only to handcuffing the victim, but denied any involvement in the murder. It wasn't until June 18, 2022, when the footage from his vehicle was reviewed, that Tina's body was found, and he finally confessed to his crimes. A classmate of Sanpei mentioned that he was a foreign student who returned from the US, and his family was fairly well off due to his father's job. They moved back to Japan, and Sanpei completed his middle and high school education in Koriyama City, Fukushima Prefecture. People around him saw him as a good, quiet child who never caused trouble, but all of this changed dramatically as he grew up. It is unclear whether his time studying abroad had an influence, but Sanpei started harassing women frequently. Even though he was arrested and punished, he showed no remorse or change in behavior. A neighbor who lived near Sanpei's villa stated that after his family moved there, Sanpei always greeted the neighbors with a smile. "I never saw him angry. He seemed like a very simple, kind, and easygoing person with no bad impressions left on others." According to a neighbor who knew him well, Sanpei began behaving strangely during middle school. He often got angry with his parents and threw things around at midnight. Sanpei's grandfather expressed his concern, stating that Sanpei's father was always busy with work and never paid attention to his son's studies or life. Perhaps it was this lack of love from his father during his upbringing that contributed to his unusual behavior. Eventually, Sanpei committed an unforgivable crime. As of the time the case was reported, the trial had not yet taken place, but it was clear that Sanpei would face severe punishment under the law. Among the countries that focus on adult content, Japan is home to the largest AV film industry, which is known for being the biggest in the world, accounting for 20% of the global share and generating billions of dollars annually. AV films have long been considered one of Japan's defining traits. Although the country has laws against prostitution, it has legalized the AV industry. Rina Arano was a freelance model and AV actress who was popular among men. She often posed for bold photo shoots, including nude photos, and charged 100,000 yen per session. In addition, she performed in daring roles containing explicit content. According to Caesar People, she earned around $1,000 for a single photo posted on an adult platform with a subscription fee. While the AV industry has grown, it also carries significant risks and dangers, as seen in Rina's case. Another well-known name in the AV world is Maria Ozawa, who was once an excellent student at an international school in Hokkaido. She was fluent in English, and when she left her education to join the AV industry, her parents were furious and disowned her. They even told their neighbors that their daughter had died in a car accident. Despite the risks and the negative perception of the industry, many Japanese women still choose to pursue a career in AV. AI also offers opportunities, and time helps people find answers to the questions they struggle with. However, sometimes it may be too late to turn back. That's the end of today's video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.